The film tells the story of an MI6 agent named James Gascoigne, who is pursued by a Russian KGB agent named Yuri Bakhtin. Yuri succeeds in killing James and takes a watch containing a microfilm document with the names of every intelligence agent active in Berlin, their illegal activities, and all their transactions. 10 days later, Lorraine Broughton, a top-level MI6 spy, is brought in for a briefing by MI6 executive Eric Gray and another CIA agent, Emmett, about her recently completed mission in Berlin. The film has a plot that jumps between interrogation rooms and flashbacks to Lorraine's time in Berlin. Lorraine advises Gray not to involve CIA agents because the conversation will reveal confidential information from the MI6 intelligence agency. However, Gray insists. Lorraine then starts a conversation about her mission in Berlin in 1989, when the whole world was in the Cold War. Lorraine is assigned by Agent C and Gray to go to Berlin with the mission to find the list inside the watch. Gray assesses Lorraine as an agent with perfect Russian language skills, an expert in escaping, digging intelligence information, and a skilled fighter. Lorraine is informed that another MI6 agent, James Gascoigne, has died after meeting with an East German agent named Spyglass. Spyglass is promised diplomatic immunity in exchange for handing over the list. Gray informs that the list inside the watch has power equivalent to an atomic bomb. Lorraine is then assigned to work with the MI6 station head in Berlin, David Percival. The scene continues in East Germany, where David, disguised as an agent, meets with Spyglass. Spyglass reveals that the list is already in Gascoigne's hands and asks for help to get him and his family across the border. However, David refuses because he has not yet received the list. Spyglass insists, saying he has memorized everything on the list. The police arrive and everyone runs scattered. Spyglass says that every Wednesday, David visits a brothel and a girl there named Maria. Everything is written on the list, and Spyglass remembers it all. Finally, David agrees to help Spyglass. They manage to escape from the East German police and return to West Germany. The scene continues. David, who has spent the night having fun, wakes up and is late to pick Lorraine up. Lorraine arrives at the West German airport, and from a distance a French agent monitors Lorraine. Then Lorraine is picked up by two people claiming to be David's subordinates. It turns out the two people are subordinates of a Soviet agent named Bremovich. But Lorraine manages to escape from them and overturns the car they were in. After the incident, David appeared and admitted to having followed Lorraine all along. Lorraine managed to survive and now must find the list and eliminate Satchel, a double agent who has leaked much information to the Soviets. Lorraine is tasked with killing the traitorous Satchel. Meanwhile, a Soviet agent leader named Alexander Bremovich is interrogating youths in East Germany who were caught during a street party. Previously, he was searching for Spyglass. The next morning, Lorraine hurries to retrieve Gascoigne's body to be returned to England, accompanied by a French spy who continues to tail her. This French agent is Delphine. After returning to the hotel, Lorraine is surprised by David, who has secretly come there. After being beaten, Lorraine asks David about Spyglass. David lies, claiming ignorance about Spyglass. Lorraine then secretly searches Gascoigne's house and finds a photo of David with Gascoigne. It turns out David had a relationship with Gascoigne. German police arrive to arrest Lorraine, but with the skills of a great agent, Lorraine easily escapes and fights back against the police, and Lorraine manages to subdue the police. The next day, Lorraine prepares a wiretap on her body and visits David's house for information. But David also plants a bug on Lorraine. Lorraine intends to ask for help in finding Bakhtin, Gascoigne's killer. David, well acquainted with Berlin, then takes Lorraine around to find clues. At night, Lorraine visits a bar, where she meets Bremovich. They converse in Russian. Their conversation is interrupted by Delphine, the French agent. Delphine invites Lorraine to a nightclub. Lorraine refuses, and Delphine gives her address and leaves. It seems Delphine has taken a liking to Lorraine. The next morning, Lorraine crosses the strict border into East Germany. Upon arrival, she is secretly followed by several men sent by Bremovich. Lorraine quickly hides and eventually manages to escape. After eluding pursuit, she then meets with Merkel, the agent in East Germany, to ask for help. On the other hand, David stalks Bakhtin, who is in a watch shop offering the list. This shop specializes in secret agents. The shop knows that the list offered by Bakhtin is very valuable. Bakhtin will release it to the highest bidder. After leaving the watch shop, Bakhtin is killed by David. He harbors a grudge against Bakhtin for killing his friend Gascoigne. Then David seizes the list. Lorraine visits a nightclub and meets Delphine. Delphine reveals to Lorraine that she is a French secret agent and has fallen in love with Lorraine. This scene shows a relationship between two women. Returning to the interrogation room, Lorraine recounts her closeness with Delphine, a French intelligence agent, and conveys that her only goal was to gather additional information. Nothing more. The next morning, Lorraine meets another agent who reveals his willingness to help. Lorraine is forced to quickly complete her mission, as the fate of all secret agents is in her hands. Additionally, it seems that the mysterious agent Satchel, who has been leaking information, has betrayed them all along. At night in a club, Lorraine meets David, who decides to help her. He claims to know Spyglass and intends to save him. Previously, David lied to Lorraine, saying he did not know Spyglass. David says that Spyglass remembers the entire contents of the list and must be quickly taken across to West Germany. Unexpectedly, David turns out to have connections with Soviet agents. At night, David meets with Bremovich and informs him that he has good information for him. Next, Lorraine and David successfully enter East Germany through a tunnel. Upon arrival, Merkel and Spyglass are waiting along with Spyglass's family. At the same time, Bremovich's subordinates, the Soviet agents, are ready to kill Spyglass. They prepare snipers and soldiers amidst the street demonstration situation. Lorraine, Spyglass, and David blend in with the demonstrators walking towards the Berlin Wall. Suddenly, the Soviet sniper spots them and will shoot him. But he is surprised by the demonstrators around Lorraine and friends who simultaneously open black umbrellas as planned. Then Lorraine and David separate. Lorraine is tasked with escorting Spyglass, and David is assigned to accompany Spyglass's family. Unexpectedly, David shoots Spyglass with a silenced weapon. Lorraine tries to protect Spyglass. She hides in a building, and a fierce fight ensues between Lorraine and Bremovich's subordinates. After defeating them, she rushes away in a car and is continuously chased by Bremovich's agents. A car chase scene ensues. They crash and fall into the river. Eventually, Spyglass, whose leg is caught, drowns. Lorraine is unable to save Spyglass. The story shifts back to the interrogation room, where most of it has been recounted by Lorraine, and they understand the situation. Lorraine has been targeted by Soviet agents since she set foot in Berlin. Later, the story continues in Berlin. Lorraine meets with Merkel and tells him that Spyglass is dead. She also informs Merkel that she has apparently been bugged from the start. Then, Merkel saves Lorraine by hiding her in the trunk of a car and crossing the Berlin Wall border. After arriving at the hotel, Lorraine rummages through her room searching for the planted bug, which she eventually finds inside her coat. She recalls visiting David's place and realizes that David had placed the bug in her coat. In the interrogation room, Lorraine reveals the discovery of the bug. David slanders Delphine, but Lorraine knows who is really behind all this. After visiting David's seemingly deserted house, Lorraine finds recordings of her and Delphine's voices during an intimate scene. At the inn, suddenly Delphine is killed by David, who strangles her and flees. Lorraine arrives to find Delphine dead and sits in contemplation, mourning her death. At night, after the fall of the Berlin Wall, Lorraine intercepts David. David is also shot by Lorraine, who forces David to hand over the list. Lorraine asks David why he killed her lover, Delphine. She also discovers that David has been contacting Soviet agents and leaking information about Spyglass. Eventually, Lorraine kills David. In the interrogation room, Gray asks Lorraine who killed David, and she reveals that Satchel has been David all along. Gray demands proof, and Lorraine hands over a photo of David meeting with Bremovich, taken by Delphine. Apparently, Delphine managed to photograph the event and a fake recording edited by Lorraine to strengthen the evidence that David is Satchel, the MI6 traitor. Lastly, Lorraine is asked about the whereabouts of the list. She claims ignorance, but the real truth is that David is the good person who has been trying to protect MI6 from Satchel. In fact, Lorraine Broughton is the double agent, playing both sides. Days later in France, Lorraine meets with Soviet agents in a luxury hotel. Lorraine is called Satchel by Bremovich. Then Bremovich and his subordinates prepare to kill Lorraine. However, despite being outnumbered, Lorraine manages to defeat them and kills Bremovich. Merkel is apparently also on standby outside to help Lorraine. Then Lorraine is escorted to the airport and boards a private jet. There she waits for the CIA agent, Emmett Kurzfeld, holding the list. And this is where it is finally revealed that Lorraine is Satchel, as seen from the conversation with that agent, indicating that Lorraine has been a triple agent working for them all along. And the film ends. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Because by subscribing you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.